Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hell of a show in store for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. This show is an interesting one, and I think is a very telling show. As you guys know, people at ESPN and other big voices in sports media have made it their business to come to the defense of Bronny James. Bronny is a person who I personally believe is unbothered by all of the stuff that's being said about him personally. But nevertheless, people around him and his supporters seem to be the total opposite. And they're looking for every single way to shut down people that don't have a positive thing to say about him. So what happened? Recently, LeBron James did a sit down with Dave McMenamin. I believe he probably interviewed as he was preparing for the Olympics. And during this sit down, he was talking about some of the things that people are saying about Bronny James. He was talking about things in terms of Bronny James' development, how he would like him to continue to progress, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then it got to a particular point in the interview that I thought was very, very revealing, where he said, you know, Bronny is unbothered, unfazed by all of the things that people are saying about him. He's able to handle it very well. And then he goes on to say, but me, on the other hand, I can't handle it. I can't deal with people criticizing me. And if people are criticizing me, I feel the need that I have to say something back. I must respond to them. And I'm like, Sydney, I'm like, you go ahead. Because you're essentially saying what all of us already do. For those of you who don't believe, LeBron just admitted that he's emotionally sensitive to things. So what we want to do now is we want to play exactly what LeBron had to say. It's only about a minute or so. I want you guys to listen to it in its entirety. And I'm going to come back and react to what LeBron had to say. Take a listen to him here.
And he had an opportunity to talk to his agent, Rich Paul, and Rich asked him what is his ultimate goal in this whole thing. And he said, I just want to hear my name called. And for it to happen, you know, with us all being together and him being able to hear his name called in the NBA draft, is like a moment that we will never, ever forget.
Between the lines, to some extent, basketball is going to take care of itself.
Yeah, for sure.
But outside of those lines, he's starting to have some of the same arrows slung at him that you had when you were a teenager. Mm-hmm. What's going to take for him to withstand that?
I don't know if people really understand Bronny. He doesn't care. I actually cared a little bit when I came in. I wanted people to like me, and some of the things that people were saying about me, it kind of bothered me early on in my career. I let it get to me. Bronny doesn't give a He doesn't. Bronny plays, he works his tail off. When he's done, he goes home and plays his video game. He does not care about nobody. He doesn't even listen to that stuff. He's like the complete opposite of his dad. His dad will say something.
Yeah.
Bronny does not care. Like me personally, when I was coming up, I had no choice. Mm-hmm. I literally had no choice. I had to make it out. Like I had no choice. I had to make it out for me, my mom, my family. Bronny has all the choices in the world. So it's like a whole nother, people don't understand how hard that is in the commitment. For him to be coming out of heart surgery less than a year ago, for him to be able to be in the NBA, the kid he's special, but he doesn't care.
Bravo. Kudos to LeBron James, because I think he just admitted what we all knew. LeBron is sensitive. And beyond LeBron being sensitive, his friends and his followers are even sensitive. It's one of the reasons we've been hearing stories of his agent, like Rich Paul, contacting people when they say this, when they say that. Stephen A. Smith disclosed some of the conversation that him and Rich Paul used to have, where Stephen A. Smith said, I have LeBron James ranked number 2 all time, and Rich Paul would say that since he's hating. Or that's disrespectful, sorry. And then Stephen A. Smith would tell him, just basically get the hell out of my face. This is essentially what's been happening. LeBron fans, if you don't tell them that, oh, LeBron is the greatest thing since sliced bread, they'll come for you. Some of them are so emotionally unstable that they'll even send you death threats. Trust me, I know. They send in death threats for somebody they don't even know. Somebody didn't even spit on them if they was on fire. But meanwhile, they ready to crash out for LeBron James. And it all makes perfect sense. LeBron is bothered by things that people say about him. He's bothered when he is not being considered as the greatest player of all time. Now, why? I don't know. Because if I'm a multi-billionaire at that level And if I know I'm a great player in my heart, who cares? But that's not LeBron. LeBron cares. His supporters care. They really, 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 really care. And they're going to let you know about it. LeBron fans care so much that not only do they follow people that sing LeBron's praises, they also stalk people that are critical of LeBron. They do. And then what they do is when they stalk you, they now start asking you dumbass questions. Hey, man, you doing that for views? You doing it for views? Them views must be looking good. These are the only fan bases sit up here and try to be counting people's pockets. How much money you made for that? How much money you made for that? How much money LeBron James made? I'm like, yo, bro, what's up with y'all? What's up with y'all? Y'all be getting hyped talking about, yeah, LeBron a billionaire. You ain't got none of that money. What you getting hyped for? He ain't about to break you off nothing. So what you hyped for? But it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense with all of these media plans that they have out there trying to promote this now. And what kills me is that the person he's trying to convince everyone that he's better than does none of this. It's like Jordan played, he left the work on the table, and he walked out. He was like, I'll let my record speak for itself. That's all I need to do. That's all I need to do. I'll let the results speak for themselves. But LeBron and his fans and his support, they cannot let the results speak. That's not enough because what they've realized is the results are not convincing enough. They realize that people are looking at the results and like, yeah, this is great, but I don't know if it should be the greatest of all time great. And they don't like that. So they now take it a step further. If the results don't work, we're going to get people in media. We're going to send out media cronies to go out there and now be representing us in the shadows and singing our praises and doing this and doing that. It all makes perfect sense. It starts from the top. It starts from the top. I thought that was revealing, but then again, it's not. Who's surprised by any of this, really? What's surprising is that he said it publicly. That's what's surprising because there he had a moment of sincerity. But he was like, yeah, these things really bother me. And I feel like I got to respond and I feel this and I feel that and I feel. It is true. It is true. It is true. And that's why they have so many people, so many people in media associated with Clutch, whether directly or indirectly. Some people we know, some people we speculate. You look at ESPN, it's a LeBron James network. They defend almost every single thing. And the moment they don't defend him, it turns into this national event. I remember the time when Shannon Sharp went on ESPN First Take at Stephen A. Smith's alma mater. When LeBron said to Miami, he did nothing for me as an organization, I would have been LeBron regardless. And Shannon Sharp called him out. There were LeBron fans within the LeBron faction that were going at Shannon Sharp. Well, why did he say that? What does he mean by that? Why did he go out there and say that? I don't understand why he said that. Like, why? What you mean by that? They was mad at him. And Shannon was like, man, I ran out of honey. I'm sorry. Give me some honey so I can keep twerking with you. I ran out. I'm sorry. I had a moment of sincerity. And I apologize. That's your man.